Finally, one more thing. Why it's that simple, most people won't test it anyway. This is our human tendency. Being blind and looking for something far away was within reach. A lot of people around me complain about sleep disorders nowadays. Reasons may vary, but it's well known that stress related to job duties is often the cause of similar problems. If in addition, disturbing thoughts and the feeling of anxiety keep coming to someone's mind on Sunday because of the upcoming Monday, and when the working week finally starts, he or she just waits for the weekend, it's time to change this pattern. Especially, it's quite simple. In this video, a powerful trick that will take away all your worries and help you to stay calm in the face of the most stressful events. So, please keep watching. From an evolutionary point of view, a man in a state of deep threat should either fight or run. In the distant past, there was no time to think. Any hesitation means the possibility of losing one's life. And while a certain level of adrenaline sharpens our senses, living in a constant tension causes that we begin to feel all these negative symptoms like racing thoughts, decreased need for sleep, lack of energy, sweating, anxiety, and weakening of concentration that significantly affects our daily performance. At some point in my life, overwhelmed by everyday responsibilities, I began to notice that I don't feel comfortable in the face of everyday problems, and to relieve myself, I was more often reaching for alcohol and other stimulants, which made me feel even worse in the course of the time. The breakthrough moment came when I came across a paragraph in a book that described how specialists treat arachnophobia, an intense fear of spiders. I read it with a great interest, and I began to wonder if similar methods are effective in one area. Maybe it may be a remedy for other types of anxiety, stressful situations, or emotional problems related to professional and private life. But first, let's look on how it works. The treatment process of fear of spiders, which by the way is called phobia. And the difference between a fear and phobia is that phobia is an intense and irrational fear towards things or situations. Begins with exposure to a fear-inducing stimulus in a controlled environment. The therapist gradually exposes the patient to the factor that triggers his fear. In this case, it's a spider, while the patients try to relax. At the beginning, it may be just a spider thought, then a spider in a jar 5 meters away, and patient sees only for a few seconds from a distance. The idea is that the therapist moves from one stage to another as the patient begins to deal well emotionally with the stressful situation, what means he's able to breathe slowly, feel relaxed and calm. This is the most important thing, to be able to maintain inner peace in the face of the factor causing anxiety and fear. So each stage takes time, and it's an individual matter for everyone. Eventually, when the patient is ready, he gets used to the view and the proximity of the factor causing stress. In other words, when the patient sees the spider and is able to stay calm and relaxed, it's possible to move on to the next stage, to more fear-provoking stimulus, which means taking a spider on the hand. The science behind it is that people cannot feel fear and calm at the same time. It's against our nature. This is how our nervous system is constructed, and that's what it's all about, to train and strengthen the nervous connection between the mind and body. This practice allows me to understand how the human psyche is constructed and how powerful is this connection. That if I can control my body, I can better control of my mind. But because people avoid to do things they're afraid of, they don't experience and expose to painful situations that evoke bad emotions, it all starts to accumulate. Fear and stress don't decrease, and what's worse, it grows and becomes more and more difficult to overcome. So, imagine now that you are someone who wants to get rid of some kind of unpleasant feeling. What you need to do first is to identify the moments or objects that make you feel anxious. Rise your fear, anger, sadness, or you just avoid because they induce some kind of unpleasantness. What you have to do next is try to progressively relax your body by relaxing the muscles, focusing on slower breathing. What's very important when you think and experience mentioned object or situation evoking these unpleasant feelings. As soon as you learn to calm down your body, Negative thoughts will begin to drift away and calm will begin to embrace your mind. Over time, if you keep practicing, it will be an automatic response of your body and mind to situations that cause anxiety. A way to grow from a state of anxiety or excitement to a state of inner peace, which will be your new default state. Good and restful sleep will return, stress level will drop, and life will take on a higher quality. That's why don't hesitate, don't try to analyze everything for too long. Just experience what troubles you. Learn to accept even the worst thoughts by relaxing your body. Someone once said that if you don't do what you are afraid of, fear will control your life. Anxiety accompanies situations we are not familiar yet and where the outcome is uncertain. Sustained levels of high stress are damaging our health. By accepting thoughts and feelings while relaxing the body, it's possible to break that state. The key to adaptation is calm. So on the one hand, you have to do what makes you uncomfortable. On the other, accept your emotions. Only this way you will be able to achieve rapid and meaningful progress, be the better version of yourself, and achieve every goal you set for yourself. Finally, one more thing. Why it's that simple, most people won't test it anyway. This is our human tendency. Being blind and looking for something far away was within reach. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to like it and see you soon.